Greetings. Hi, my name is Amira Sekofa Kwali. As you can hear, I'm washing clothes. Who does a video while washing clothes? Well, a clean person does. I believe in always cleaning, keeping my house clean. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. My name is Amira Sankofa Kwali with Ask Life Coaching Ministry. Anyway, just kind of hanging out in my pyramid. That's a part of the washing machine. You hear that? That's annoying as hell. Uh, I'm going to close the door to the bathroom because that's quite annoying. Well, I will admit. At any rate, today it's kind of a day where I'm pretty much really busy with dealing with clientele. Today was a day I kind of wanted to do a video. I promised a couple of my clients that I would do a video. Just in regards to living under the pyramid. I don't actually live under the pyramid. I just happen to be under my healing pyramid. I'm trying to get centered in the middle. Um, so, at any rate, today is just I would say a a pretty interesting day on the terms of trying to get a lot of work done. Today, I've dealt with a lot of different clients who've had a lot of different issues. Now, let me first tell you about procrastination. I was supposed to put out a book a long while ago, and then something kind of told me to hold back on it. At first, I chopped it down to procrastination, and then after a while, I'm in a different place at the time that I wrote the book. I still deem it useful and great for someone else that's going through unique periods, and I know it would be very helpful. Oh God, that is so annoying. So, anyway, yes, folks, I wash clothes, and anyway, I deem it unnecessary. I'm sorry, I deem it necessary for the book to definitely come out. So I ran across this young lady, can't remember her name, but she's doing a video, like a live video on Facebook, and she's talking about how she published her book, and she's an author, and how she can help you. She does a lot of seminars on publishing your book and things like that. And for me, I'm more of, I wouldn't necessarily say that I was a writer. I would say that I'm a person who has a lot of knowledge to offer people in a unique fashion. But of course, at the level I'm at, I should be putting out books, okay? So, any rate, she was talking about, I was just kind of sharing her, some things with her on the terms of, me wanting an editor. Because and she just kind of broke down. And of course, I already knew this, and she was already sharing some information that I didn't know, and she was sharing information I already knew. But anyway, it was really good to even hear someone else talking about book and self-publishing and different means of doing it. Because I did, at the time when I wrote my book, I did get a lot of publishers who wanted to publish my book. But of course, the split was like 60-40. And guess who's going to get 40 and guess who's going to get 60? Exactly. No, not doing it. Especially if it's one of those self-help books. And it kind of had a little zaniness to it because, of course, you know that I have a lot of, I don't want to say because I'm not a comedian, but I have a unique sense of humor. And I'm just honest. I don't try to be funny, but I'm just myself. So in putting the book out, on down to my videos are probably very raw. On the terms of, y'all didn't hear my washing machine in the background. It sounds like somebody's trying to attack. But anyway, I really began to really rethink about my book. And I'm going to probably end up adding more to it. I said and promised that it would be a series of coming out because I have a lot to say on the terms of relationships. I have a lot to offer people to help them, especially healing. I'm a believer in healing. I think it's very important. So when that happened, of course, I'm listening to the lady, and she has a really good energy about her. And I also had a couple of clients I had to do today, and then of course I had to spend some time with the boo thing, you know. So I had a couple of clients this morning that I dealt with on the terms of life coaching, and then I had to do 2 readings today. Of course, so that really helped me to really think about certain things, and of course I promised my clients, 2 of my clients was like, why don't you put some more videos out? We like looking at your videos when we can't afford you. Not that my services are expensive, they're really inexpensive, but again, I work with people, also financially on the terms of what their finances are looking like as well. I do have certain set prices for different things, but for the most part I will work with you. So, of course, they were saying how they would like to see a lot of my coaching techniques, a lot of things that I've been through in my life to definitely share to the world. So the videos are certainly easier because of the fact that I don't necessarily have to write. I really don't like writing, okay? I just want to put that out there. I really don't like writing. I can write, but I really don't like writing because of the fact that I'm a free former. Even on the terms of doing videos, I don't have to have a mass production. Even when I'm getting interviews, I'm just myself. I like to relax. I don't like to put on an air about me. So I've been told, by a lot of PR people that started working with me, well, you have to have this brand and you have to be this certain kind of way. Okay, well, my brand, and I had to think about that. I was like, well, what kind of brand am I supposed to have? Okay, my brand is me just being myself. Okay, and being honest with people and offering people a service where they can relax and be themselves and be honest. Because I don't have time to put on these airs and be this kind of way and walk around like I'm perfect and I have this and I have that and I have this and I have that, because that's not me at all. I just like to, of course, be myself. I don't even like doing videos, to be honest with you, but again, it's part of business. So some things I do for business, but I said if I'm going to do videos or if I put out books, if I do interviews, I'm just going to be myself. I remember one video I did, one interview I did, and we were depends on the subject. And sometimes I have a lot of passion. I might do some swearing a little bit. It depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking business related, not so much swearing because that's not necessary because that's a happy place for me. But if we're talking about activism and things like that, that's not a very happy place for me. I'm just going to be honest with you. So my passion or my demeanor about it is a bit differently because I love my people so much that some things just make me very angry. Because I see so much potential in us and we can do so much more if we just basically begin to work together and unite and on the terms of rearing our children in a certain type of way. And I've just seen a lot of things, even as a life coach. Now, even as a life coach, a reader, I don't really find myself angry at my clients because who does that? I just really want to help my clients, and I want to go above and beyond to really help my clients because my clients are asking for help, and they are really needing help, regardless of whether they listen to me or not. Sorry, that was y'all see that? See it cluck me in the head? This is actually, this is my dream chaser that I have above the pyramid. I guess I was speaking too real. Now I probably wasn't on all the way. But I'm not editing it out. I don't have time for that. Anyway, so should I hold it in my hand? I don't know. But whatever. So I'm glad I have a lot of hair because that probably would have hurt my head a little bit. But again, this is a raw video, raw footage. Maybe when I become a greater asset on the terms of business, I am already, right? But once I become more known, maybe I will take some time out to do production and editing and all these things. I have a sister of mine. She does good at that. She's already got her brand name. She already, does blogs. She's very professional. She's really good at it. She does blab. She does so many different things that I really admire her for. But her name is Xanadu. Hi, Xanadu. Anyway, I'm not doing all that. Okay, I'm just gonna do my raw footage. But maybe along the lines, I start paying somebody to do that. That's fine. But right now, not right now. That's just not my forte. My forte is healing. My forte is actually helping people to get to the next level in their life, wherever they are now, to make them greater than where they are. Because that's what happened with me. I was at a certain part in my life, and of course, I began to get greater and greater as time happened, and I'm still not where I need to be. Who is though, right? After all, so we all aim and strive to be greater than ourselves. I guess I really didn't have a topic. It was just really hanging in the pyramid, but whatever. So thanks to the people that are tuning in. I really appreciate y'all. So anyway, on terms of healing, so anyway, I probably should get a subject, right, and talk about a subject, I guess. So anyway, one of the things that's been pretty much really heavy on my mind is pretty much rearing children. See that wash machine go again. Is really rearing children, and the way that we deal with our children. I hope everybody can hear me. I don't want to have to talk any loud. It sounds like a Cookie Monster or some kind of monster transformer coming in. But anyway, it's just a wash machine. I promise you, I can show y'all. It just jumps up. And really what it is the fact that it's not leveled. And the way that the laundry room is kind of off-centered a little bit. So I probably should have waited to wash, but I just have to. I don't like clothes to build up. They get on my nerves. I had like one basket. I had to get rid of that basket. So anyway, so some of the things I began to really think about in talking and working with my clients today was children. Children are very essential to our future, okay? Because keep in mind, they are what the song is. Children are our future. Teach them well. Let them lead the way. I can't sing, so not my forte. That's another thing that's not my forte, okay? So I really began to think about that because pretty much I'm at the point now where I have raised my children. My youngest child is, 22, I think, and my oldest is 26. So with that said, is I pretty much have already raised my children, but never done that. I have a grandson. Wonderful, okay? I'm a grandmother, and I pretty much am a grandmother. And I think a lot of times, a lot of mistakes that I've made with my children, or a lot of things that I've done that might not have been the best way. And I don't really knock other mothers because we all have certain different struggles and certain things that we have to see. But one of the things that I frown deeply on, because keep in mind, I am a 70s baby and I'm 43, and I'm proud of it, honey, because I look good. Okay? If I stand up and show y'all me, y'all be like, woo! Okay, anyway. So one of the things I've noticed, I mean, it's not everybody. Everybody doesn't do this, and it's not, I can't just say that it's male or female. I can't just label the woman. I can't just label the man. I've seen both parties do it, okay? And one of the things that I found that is not the best way to deal with things, and trust me, we all make mistakes, but some things that we just have to work on is the ugliness of our in dealing with, in raising with our children. And of course, this is a concept that we all should learn. But my parents, in me growing up, my parents have had at least one time where they wasn't necessarily physically living together. They was working on their marriage, and it wasn't that long. I think it was probably like 6 months or so, but it wasn't that long. But my mother, no matter what was going on with my parents, my mother never, there we go again, my mother never said anything against my father in front of me. Now, she might have said whatever she had to say to her girlfriends, her sisters, or her brother, or whatever, but that's what I was raised in. My mother never spoke against my father. My family never spoke against my father. My father's family never spoke against my mother. Never, okay? They only had good things to say. And, they believed in trying to patch things up. They always tried to create an environment for me to be able to and I ain't gonna say express myself because I came from school of do what I say do, not as I do. But they did. My mother always said she would never allow me to disrespect my father, no matter what they was going through, and my father never allowed me to disrespect my mother. I would get it. You hear me? So that's the thing that we have to work on, family, and that's speaking against parents allowing a child to curse, allowing a child. That's not a form of expression. That's a form of ignorance. Okay. So these are things that we have to express yourself. Even if your father or the mother is not as hands-on as you deem them they should be, that's something that you all as adults should be able to sit down and talk about that. If not, get a mediator and get somebody else to get involved that can be neutral on the subject, like a life coach, a counselor, what have you. But that means something, because a lot of times we set our children up for failure when we allow them to come out of a child's place. We want our children to grow up, to be children and not to be adults. And it's just a lot of stuff that's going on in our community now, with black on black genocide and different things that are already happening, and then mothers and fathers having to take 4 and 5 jobs in order to pay the bills and things like that we don't need so much. And even on the terms of whether you like your ex's new mates, male or female, because I can't just say women, because women are not only ones doing it, because I've seen men do it too. Okay, so I have to be balanced, and I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not going to bash men, and I'm not going to bash women. I'm just going to tell you what it is. So we have to be honest and not like, you don't have to like that person, whatever way they got together, as long as they're treating your children correctly, as long as you all are happy, as long as that child comes back decent. But then again, you have to start sending your child over in somebody's house properly as well. And that's something that we all have to work on, because you're mad or upset about the mother or father or whatever the case is. Don't send your children just anywhere looking not so clean, because again, you never know what they might have planned or expect. That's, I know back in the day when I saw that, when I talked to a couple of my clients today, one said, and it was a male, he said that he was sending his daughter over to his, because the child primarily lived with him, and he would send the child back over to the mother house dirty and not, having clean clothes, or, not hair, not comb, or not enough clothes. The clothes that was too small, because he was expecting the mother to buy her some more clothes. Well, why don't you just ask her to buy some more clothes as opposed to punishing the child? So we have to stop punishing our children because we're upset with the mates or the exes for no reason. And even when you're with some people, I've seen children be punished based off their parents even remaining together and being together. I've seen people do that, and that's something that we have to end. We have to stop, and that's a form of abuse, whether you know that or not. That's abuse, because that child is innocent and has nothing to do with that. So we have to work on taking care of each other and stop abusing each other, calling each other's names and having the child call each other's names, and going through all these changes because we're sick. Some of us are very sick and we need psychological help. And that happens, and sometimes we don't know that we're sick. So if you do recognize, we have to start looking at some of the warning signs of children being abused. We also have to look at the warning signs of the father or the mother having mental illnesses or mental ailments. And then we have to seek them help. It's not always a situation or scenario that we should take the child away from that parent. I think that we should all step in and try to help them become more effective. Maybe take the child for a little while Not necessarily removing visitations or anything like that, but definitely having the child, seeking help for the mother or the father. And I know everything is not cookie crumb um, or everything is, book wise, or everything's not by the book. But I think that in most cases, not the extreme cases of abuse, but just certain forms of abuse, we definitely have to begin in talking to each other and trying to seek help for those that may be having these kinds of issues. Um, and then recognizing, that, we shouldn't do this, and definitely getting help to kind of work through those issues of definitely letting go, because a lot of times it's because you're still hurting. Hurt people. So a lot of times we're still hurting from being abandoned or losing the ex or childhood traumas, and that's not always your fault, and these are things that we have to begin to heal over. And so, you know, abusers just don't start um, overnight. More than likely, people who have been abused, they were abused they were already abused by someone else. So that's more than likely how they became abusers. So again, this is not to knock people's anybody from being who they are. This is really a point to really think about something and really re-examine it. So I think I was thinking really heavily about that because of a couple of my clients that I have really been working with. And, you know, so anyway, I went onto this website. Of course, I do a lot of, even as a life coach, you still is an ongoing battle to constantly, not a battle, but it's a constantly thing where you want to keep getting your education, keep reading, keep studying, keep understanding so you can help people more effectively. So I began to start going to all these different websites, and then I called a couple of numbers on these different websites, and I began to kind of ask, what do they think abuses are? Like, naming a few things out of abuse. And just what I named, and it was saying that when you lie or manipulate a situation with a child, that's a form of abuse. And I was like, wow, I had never really thought about that being a form of abuse. And I was like, well, how so? Explain it to me, because I don't want to just label, people as abusers. It's not, it's abusive. I guess I don't want to say, and I take that back. I don't want to just call people abusive, but we can say that that's kind of abusive situation. That's kind of not righteous. So this particular person that I was talking to at this abuse shelter, and she was saying that, because it was male and female abuse shelter, and she was saying how when you manipulate a child into believing something that's not true, or when you take a situation, exaggerate it, it's a form of abuse. And I was just like, wow, I hadn't thought about that. So I really began to think about that in so many ways. And so I began to start kind of sharing with my clients. I'm like, well, I'm not going to call them abusers because I'm not going to be deemed to say that. But I was just saying that it was kind of a form of abuse, a little bit, according to different books that I've read. And I've read, even in life coaching, I have read a lot of books that talked about different forms of abuse. And sometimes we do it unintentionally. Abuse doesn't always have to be you beating someone, whooping someone, and things like that. But we all have probably at some point have done something that may have been considered not so nice. So we have to just begin to start analyzing how we treat our children, how we treat each other, and kind of work on it. So I think that was pretty much all I wanted to really do the video on inside Hanging Out with the Pyramid with Ask Life Coaching Ministries. So anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I don't really like doing long videos, but definitely feel free to get with me, ask me any questions, book appointments for different amounts of my services. You can go to www.ask314life.com, And my phone number is 502-208-9142. You can certainly reach me there. You can email me at ask314life@gmail.com. That's the quickest way to get a hold of me, those numbers, and I'll be free to answer any questions, book appointments, and also a lot of my services aren't online just yet because I do so much that it's just best. I tell people just ask me if I do it, but I don't want my site all congested with all the things and all of things I can do and I specialize in because I specialize in a lot of things. Some things I'm more happy about doing. I can do it, but um, so that's pretty much where I'm at. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my videos. Sorry about all the technical difficulties like my clothes being washed as well as my dream catcher falling down on my head. And so anyway, thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate everybody. And maybe next time I'll try to do bigger announcement. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Have a great and blessed day.